You know what? At 68 years old, my friend Nancy thought her dating days were over. She'd been single for 3 years after her divorce, convinced that romance was something for younger people. Then, one Tuesday morning, she downloaded a dating app on her phone. 6 months later, she's planning a trip to Italy with someone she met online. But here's what most people don't tell you about dating apps. When you're over 50, it's not just about swiping left or right. There's a whole world of safety concerns, hidden tricks, and strategies that can make the difference between finding genuine companionship and falling victim to scammers who specifically target older adults. The truth is, if you're a senior thinking about online dating, you're part of the fastest growing group on dating apps today. But you're also the most targeted by criminals. The good news is, once you know what to look for and how to protect yourself, dating apps can open up a world of possibilities you never imagined. Today, I'm going to share with you the complete guide to safe and effective online dating for seniors. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to create a profile that attracts the right people, how to spot red flags before they cost you money or heartbreak, and how to turn online connections into real-life relationships. If you've ever wondered whether online dating is right for you, or if you've tried it before but didn't have success, this video is going to change everything for you. Lesson 1. Choose the right platform for your age group. Let me start with something most people get wrong from day one. Not all dating apps are created equal, especially when you're over 50. Here's what happened to Joe, a 62-year-old widower from Ohio. He downloaded the first dating app he heard about and spent 3 months wondering why he wasn't getting any matches. The problem? He was on an app where most users were in their 20s and 30s. The truth is, different apps cater to different age groups. Some platforms have been specifically designed with older adults in mind. They understand that you're not necessarily looking for hookups or casual dating. You want meaningful connections with people who share your life experience and values. Look for apps that have robust safety features, clear privacy settings, and customer service you can actually reach by phone if needed. Many of these senior-focused platforms also have larger profile sections where you can really tell your story, not just post a few photos and hope for the best. Ask yourself this: are you looking for serious companionship, marriage, or just someone to share activities with? Your answer should guide which platform you choose. The good news is, on the right platform, you'll find thousands of other people your age who are looking for exactly what you're looking for. Lesson 2. Create a profile that tells your real story. Now, let's talk about your profile. This is where I see so many seniors make critical mistakes that cost them great connections. Nancy made one of these mistakes at first. She was so worried about seeming old that she used a photo from 10 years ago and barely mentioned her grandchildren or retirement activities. The result? She attracted people who weren't really compatible with her current life stage. Here's the truth: authenticity attracts authenticity. When you're honest about who you are today, you attract people who genuinely want to be part of your real life. Use recent photos that clearly show your face. Include at least one full body shot. I know this feels vulnerable, but remember, you want to attract someone who likes you as you are right now, not as you were a decade ago. In your profile description, talk about what brings you joy today. Maybe it's gardening, volunteering, spending time with grandchildren, traveling, or learning new things. Don't apologize for being retired or having adult children. These aren't negatives. They're part of what makes you an interesting, experienced person. Here's a reflection question for you. What are 3 things about your current life that you're genuinely excited about? Those belong in your profile. If you're still watching and finding this helpful, comment the number 1 below. I read every comment and love hearing from you. Lesson 3. Recognize and avoid romance scammers. This is the most important lesson in this entire video, so pay close attention. Romance scammers specifically target older adults on dating apps, and they're getting more sophisticated every year. Let me tell you about what almost happened to Margaret, a 71-year-old retired teacher. She met someone online who claimed to be a widowed engineer working overseas. He was charming, attentive, and said all the right things. After 6 weeks of daily messages, he had a family emergency and needed $2,000 wired to him immediately. Fortunately, Margaret's daughter had warned her about this exact scenario. Margaret realized she'd never actually spoken to this person on the phone or seen him on video chat. She blocked him immediately. Here are the red flags you must watch for. First, they profess love unusually quickly, often within days or weeks. Second, they claim to be traveling, deployed overseas, or living in another country. Third, they have very few photos, and their photos look almost too perfect. Fourth, they avoid phone calls or video chats, always having an excuse. Fifth, they eventually ask for money, gift cards, or personal financial information. The truth is, legitimate people who are interested in dating you will want to meet in person relatively quickly. They'll be happy to talk on the phone. They'll never ask you for money, no matter what sob story they present. Trust your instincts. If something feels off, it probably is. Have you noticed any of these red flags in your own online dating experience? Lesson 4. Master the art of safe communication. Once you start matching with people, how you communicate can make or break your safety and success. Most seniors I talk to either share too much, too quickly, or are so guarded they can't build any connection at all. Joe learned this lesson the hard way. In his first week on a dating app, he gave his home address to someone who seemed nice, just so they could send him a card. That person never sent a card, but Joe started getting suspicious phone calls and mail. He'd shared his personal information with someone he knew almost nothing about. Here's the smart approach. Keep your conversations on the dating app's messaging system for at least the first week or two. Don't immediately jump to texting, email, or giving out your phone number. Most good dating apps have built-in safety features that protect your privacy until you're ready to share more. When you do move to phone calls, consider using Google Voice or another service that gives you a separate phone number. This way, if things don't work out, the person doesn't have your actual phone number. Never share your home address, workplace, financial information, or full name until you've met in person and feel comfortable. This might seem overly cautious, but it's about protecting yourself while still remaining open to genuine connections. Think about it this way. Someone who truly cares about getting to know you will respect your need for privacy and safety. Anyone who pressures you to share personal information quickly is showing you a red flag. Ask yourself, how much personal information have you shared in your online conversations? Are you being appropriately cautious? Lesson 5. Plan safe first meetings. The transition from online chatting to meeting in person is exciting, but it's also where many seniors make safety mistakes. Let me share what happened to two different people to show you the right and wrong way to handle first meetings. First, there's Carol, who was so excited to meet someone that she agreed to let him pick her up at her house for their first date. She gave a man she'd only known for 2 weeks her home address and got into his car. Fortunately, he turned out to be a decent person, but Carol realized later how dangerous this could have been. Compare that to Nancy's approach. When she was ready to meet someone, she chose a busy coffee shop in the middle of the day. She drove herself there and back. She told her adult daughter exactly where she was going and when she'd be home. She even had her daughter call her halfway through the date to check in. Here's your safe meeting strategy. Always meet in public places for the first several dates. Coffee shops, restaurants, museums, parks with lots of people around. Never let someone pick you up or drop you off at your home until you know them well and trust them completely. Tell at least one trusted friend or family member where you're going, who you're meeting, and when you expect to be back. Set up a check-in call or text. If something feels wrong during the date, don't worry about being polite. Trust your instincts and leave. Meet during daytime hours when possible. It's easier to get a clear sense of someone in natural light, and busy daytime locations tend to be safer. The good news is, most people you'll meet online are genuine and looking for the same kind of connection you are. These safety measures aren't about being paranoid, they're about being smart so you can relax and enjoy getting to know new people. If you're implementing these safety tips, comment the number 2 below to let me know. Lesson 6. Navigate age-related concerns with confidence. Let's address the elephant in the room. Many seniors worry about how to handle age-related topics when dating online. Should you mention health issues? What about adult children who might not approve? How do you discuss physical limitations without sounding negative? Here's how Joe handled this beautifully. He's 65 and has some arthritis that limits certain activities. Instead of hiding this or leading with it, he mentioned in his profile that he prefers gentle activities like museum visits, scenic drives, and nice dinners over hiking or dancing. He was honest about his preferences. Without making it sound like a medical report, the result, he attracted people who genuinely enjoyed the same types of activities. No one felt misled when they met in person, and he found someone who was thrilled to have a companion for art exhibits and wine tastings. The truth is, everyone your age has some kind of health consideration or physical change. The key is framing these as preferences and lifestyle choices rather than limitations. If you take medications, you don't need to discuss this in your profile or early conversations. If you have adult children, mention them as a positive part of your life, not as potential obstacles to dating. Here's what you might say. I love spending time with my grown kids and grandchildren, rather than, I hope you don't mind that I have family obligations. See the difference? Remember, you're looking for someone who wants to fit into your real life, not someone you have to hide your real life from. Ask yourself, are you presenting your life circumstances as positives or as problems to overcome? How you frame things matters tremendously in how others perceive them. Lesson 7. Handle finances and generosity carefully. Money conversations in dating become more complex when you're older. You might be on a fixed income, have different financial priorities, or worry about people being interested in your financial situation rather than in you as a person. Let me tell you about two different approaches. Margaret was so worried about seeming like a gold digger that she insisted on paying for everything on her first few dates. This made her dates uncomfortable and gave the wrong impression about what she was looking for in a relationship. On the other hand, Nancy approached financial questions naturally. When someone suggested an expensive restaurant, she said, "That sounds lovely, but I'd prefer something more casual for our first meeting." When activities came up that were outside her budget, she suggested alternatives instead of just saying no. Here's the smart approach. Be honest about your financial comfort zone without giving details about your actual financial situation. It's perfectly fine to say, "I prefer to keep first dates simple," or "I'd rather go somewhere we can really talk." Never lend money to someone you're dating, especially in the early stages. Don't discuss your savings, investments, property, or inheritance with people you've just met. Don't feel obligated to pay for expensive dates or activities to impress someone. The truth is, someone who's right for you will be happy with activities that fit your budget and lifestyle. They won't pressure you to spend more than you're comfortable with, and they won't ask you for financial help. Think about this. Are you being authentic about your financial comfort zone, or are you trying to impress people by spending more than you'd like? Lesson 8. Deal with adult children's concerns. This is a big one. Many seniors face pushback from adult children who worry about online dating safety, or who simply feel uncomfortable with the idea of their parent dating again. Here's what happened to Robert, a 69-year-old who'd been widowed for 4 years. His adult son was constantly warning him about predators online and making him feel guilty for wanting companionship. Robert almost gave up on dating entirely until he had an honest conversation with his son about what he was actually doing to stay safe. The key is involving your adult children in your safety planning rather than letting them make you feel guilty for wanting companionship. Show them that you're being smart and careful. Share the safety measures you're taking. Maybe even introduce them to people you're dating when relationships become more serious. Sometimes adult children are really worried about their inheritance or worried that someone will take advantage of you financially. Have open conversations about your financial boundaries and your plans for protecting your assets. Remember, you're the adult here. You don't need permission from your children to pursue companionship and happiness, but including them in your safety planning can give everyone peace of mind. The truth is, many adult children who initially object to their parent dating online become supportive once they see that their parent is being careful and that dating is making them happier. Ask yourself, are your adult children worried about your safety, or are they uncomfortable with the idea of you dating at all? These require different conversations. Lesson 9. Set realistic expectations about physical intimacy. Let's talk honestly about physical intimacy, because this is something many seniors wonder about but don't know how to address when dating online. The truth is, physical relationships look different at every age, and there's no right or wrong way to approach this topic. The key is being clear with yourself about what you want and comfortable discussing boundaries when the time comes. Nancy was worried about this aspect of dating at 68. She'd been married for 40 years before her divorce and felt uncertain about intimacy with someone new. She decided to be upfront in her later conversations that she preferred to take physical relationships slowly. This actually helped her find someone who shared similar values about intimacy and emotional connection. Compare this to Carol, who felt pressured to be more physically available than she was comfortable with because she thought that's what was expected in modern dating. This led to uncomfortable situations and relationships that didn't last. Here's what you need to know. You get to set the pace. You don't owe anyone physical intimacy on any timeline. Discuss safe sex openly if that's relevant to your situation. Don't assume that people your age don't care about or think about physical connection. Many do. Consider having conversations about health concerns that might affect physical intimacy before they become issues. This includes everything from medications that affect energy levels to physical changes that might impact comfort. The good news is that many people find physical relationships more satisfying later in life because they're more comfortable communicating about what they want and need. Lesson 10. Recognize when online chemistry doesn't translate here. Something that surprises many people. Sometimes you can have amazing conversations online with someone who turns out to be completely wrong for you in person. Other times, someone who seems just okay online becomes fascinating when you meet them. Here's what this means for your dating strategy. Don't invest too heavily in someone before you meet them in person. Keep your expectations realistic. Be prepared for some meetings to not lead anywhere, and don't take it personally when this happens. At the same time, don't write people off too quickly based on imperfect online presentations. Some people are much better in person than they are at writing profiles or taking photos. The truth is, online dating is really just a way to meet people. The real relationship building happens face-to-face. Or are you being so picky online that you might be missing good connections? Lesson 11. Handle rejection and disappointment. Let's be honest about something that everyone experiences, but no one likes to talk about rejection and disappointment in online dating. This can feel especially difficult when you're older and maybe haven't dealt with dating rejection in many years. The truth is, you'll probably experience some form of rejection or disappointment in online dating. This doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you or that you should give up. Here's how to handle it. Don't take disappearances personally. Keep talking to multiple people until you're in an exclusive relationship with someone. Focus on the people who do respond positively to you, rather than obsessing over those who don't. Remember that rejection often means you weren't compatible anyway, which is actually a good thing. You want to find someone who's genuinely excited about getting to know you. The good news is that for every person who's not interested, there are others who will be very interested. Online dating is a numbers game, especially at first. Ask yourself, are you letting fear of rejection keep you from putting yourself out there authentically? If you're learning to handle online dating challenges better, comment the number 4 below. Lesson 12. Know when to take breaks. Online dating can be emotionally exhausting, especially when you're new to it. Many seniors feel like they need to be constantly active on apps, responding to messages immediately, and going on dates every week. This leads to burnout and frustration. Here's the smart approach. Set limits on how much time you spend on dating apps each day. Take regular breaks when you feel overwhelmed or discouraged. Don't feel guilty about pausing your dating activity to focus on other areas of your life. Remember, the goal isn't to date as many people as possible. It's to find one person you genuinely connect with. Quality over quantity always wins in the long run. Pay attention to your emotional state. If dating is making you feel worse about yourself rather than excited about possibilities, it's time for a break. The truth is, taking breaks often leads to better results when you come back to dating. You'll have a clearer sense of what you're looking for, and you'll approach new connections with renewed energy. Think about this. Are you approaching online dating in a sustainable way, or are you burning yourself out? Lesson 13. Transition from dating apps to real relationships. Once you've been dating someone for a while and things are going well, you'll face new questions about how to build a real relationship with someone you met online. This transition can be tricky for seniors who may be dealing with blended families, established living situations, and different expectations about commitment. Here's the key. Communicate openly about your expectations and timeline. Don't assume that just because you're both older, you automatically want the same things from the relationship. Some seniors are looking for marriage again. Others want committed partnerships without legal entanglement. Some prefer to maintain separate households indefinitely. Some want to blend their lives completely. None of these approaches is right or wrong, but you need to be clear about your preferences. Have conversations about family integration. How will you handle holidays, family events, and relationships with adult children and grandchildren? Discuss financial arrangements if you're considering living together or marriage. Talk about healthcare decisions and long-term planning. The truth is, relationships that start online can become just as deep and committed as those that start any other way. But you need to be intentional about building that foundation beyond the initial attraction. Ask yourself, if your online dating leads to a serious relationship, what would you want that to look like in practical terms? Lesson 14. Maintain your independence and identity. Here's something crucial that many seniors overlook when they find success with online dating. Maintaining your own identity and independence, even as you build new relationships. What you need to remember, a healthy relationship enhances your life rather than replacing it. You should feel more like yourself when you're with the right person, not less like yourself. Continue pursuing your own interests and maintaining your friendships. Don't give up activities you love just because your new partner isn't interested in them. Maintain your own living space until you're certain you want to make changes, and make those decisions thoughtfully rather than impulsively. The truth is, people who are attracted to you through online dating fell for the person you actually are. Don't change so much that you become someone different entirely. Think about this. Are you maintaining the things that make you uniquely you, even as you build new relationships? If you're committed to maintaining your independence while dating, comment the number 5 below. Lesson 15. Celebrate your courage and success. Let's end with something important, acknowledging how brave you are for pursuing online dating as a senior. Whether you've just started thinking about it or you've been actively dating for months, you're doing something that takes real courage. The truth is, putting yourself out there at any age requires vulnerability. Doing it later in life, after perhaps decades of marriage or years of being single, takes extra courage. You're learning new technology, adapting to modern dating culture, and opening your heart to possibilities you might have thought were behind you. Here's what I want you to remember. Every person you connect with online, every interesting conversation you have, every pleasant date you go on is a success. You don't need to find your soulmate immediately for online dating to be worthwhile. Maybe you've made new friends. Maybe you've learned something about yourself. Maybe you've discovered interests you didn't know you had. Maybe you've simply proven to yourself that you're braver than you thought. Whether you find lasting love, companionship, friendship, or simply new experiences, you're enriching your life by staying open to possibilities. The good news is that more seniors than ever are finding meaningful relationships online. You're part of a growing community of people who refuse to let age limit their opportunities for connection and happiness. Ask yourself this final question. What would you tell a friend who was hesitant about trying online dating? Now tell yourself those same encouraging words. I want you to share one thing you learned from this video in the comments below. Maybe it's a safety tip you hadn't considered, or a mindset shift about how to present yourself online, or just the encouragement you needed to take that first step. If this video helped you feel more confident about online dating, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more content about thriving in your senior years, and make sure to ring that notification bell so you don't miss future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.